Hypersonic missiles are changing modern warfare, traveling at more than 5 times the speed of sound. These weapons are too fast for traditional defense systems to react. Even worse, they don't follow a straight path. They can change direction mid-flight, making them nearly impossible to intercept. With nations like China and Russia developing these high-speed threats, the U.S. military face a critical question. How do you stop something that moves faster than anything you've ever faced? The answer is a defense system that moves even faster. One that doesn't need to chase, predict, or intercept because it destroys threats instantly. The U.S. Navy has been working on a next-generation laser weapon, and it could make hypersonic missiles completely useless. There's also the question of who else will develop this technology. The U.S. has taken the lead, but will other nations follow if laser defense systems become widespread? Could this mark the end of missile-based warfare as we know it? Stick around because what's coming next is something you won't want to miss. For decades, missile defense systems relied on tracking and predicting enemy missiles before launching an interceptor to destroy them. But hypersonic missiles change everything. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which follow a fixed trajectory, these new weapons can move unpredictably, making them nearly impossible to track with radar at speeds of Mach 5 or higher. They can strike their target before defenses even have time to react. Both Russia and China have made hypersonic weapons a top priority. Russia's Vanguard can reportedly reach speeds of Mach 27, while China's DF-17 is specifically designed for rapid, unpredictable attacks. With these weapons in development, the U.S. military face a pressing challenge. How do you stop something you can't track or predict? Instead of relying on conventional interceptor missiles, the U.S. military took a different approach. If hypersonic missiles move too fast to counter, why not use a weapon that moves even faster? That's where laser technology comes in. Lasers travel at the speed of light. They don't need to intercept a missile's trajectory because they hit their target the moment they are fired. Unlike traditional missile defense systems that require expensive, high-tech ammunition, lasers fire concentrated beams of energy, meaning they never run out of ammo as long as they have power. One of the most promising laser systems is called HELIOS high-energy laser, with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance developed by Lockheed Martin. This powerful laser has already been deployed on U.S. Navy warships, proving its effectiveness against drones, small boats, and even missiles. The next step, installing these laser weapons on aircraft carriers, creating a virtually impenetrable shield against hypersonic threats. The U.S. Navy is already rolling out laser weapons across its fleet. One of the first ships to receive the HELIOS system was the USS Preble, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. This was a major milestone in the Navy's transition to energy-based offenses, but the real breakthrough will come when laser weapons are installed on aircraft carriers, the most important and vulnerable targets in naval warfare. Aircraft carriers are the backbone of the U.S. Navy's global power projection, but their size and strategic importance make them prime targets for hypersonic missiles. If an enemy missile can reach a carrier before it can be intercepted, the entire fleet is at risk. By equipping these carriers with high-energy laser weapons, the U.S. Navy aims to eliminate that threat before it ever becomes a problem. The long-term goal is to create a network of laser-armed warships capable of defending not only themselves, but also every vessel in their battle group. This new form of defense could render hypersonic missiles useless, forcing adversaries to retreat. Think their attack strategies entirely. What makes laser weapons such a game-changer? For starters, they strike instantly. Unlike conventional defenses that require time to track and intercept a missile, lasers engage threats the moment they are detected. This means that even the fastest, most unpredictable hypersonic missiles can be destroyed before they reach their target. Another major advantage is cost efficiency. Traditional missile defense systems rely on expensive interceptor missiles, which can cost millions of dollars per shot. In contrast, a laser weapon only requires energy, meaning it can fire as many times as needed without worrying about running out of ammunition. And then there's stealth. Unlike explosive warheads, laser weapons don't produce massive fireballs or debris. They silently disable or destroy targets without alerting enemy forces, making them far harder to counter than traditional missile defenses. These factors make laser weapons a perfect solution for defending against high-speed, unpredictable threats. The U.S. Navy has already demonstrated that laser weapons work in real-world conditions. In recent tests, HELIOS successfully tracked and destroyed aerial and naval threats with pinpoint accuracy. The next step is increasing their power and deploying them on more ships, especially aircraft carriers. The Pentagon is heavily invested in making laser technology even stronger. Future versions of these weapons will have longer ranges, higher energy output, and better adaptability to different weather conditions. The goal is to fully integrate high-powered laser fences across the Navy's fleet by 2025, creating a protective shield that hypersonic missiles cannot penetrate. If successful, this technology could change the future of warfare forever. Instead of worrying about hypersonic missile attacks, the Navy would have a defense system that neutralizes threats the moment they appear. Of course, no technology is perfect. One of the biggest challenges for laser weapons is power supply. These systems require massive amounts of energy, meaning ships need advanced power generation to keep them operational. The Navy is already working on integrating next-generation power systems to support high-energy weapons on a large scale. Weather conditions can also be an issue while laser weapons are incredibly effective in clear conditions. Factors like fog, rain, and smoke can reduce their effectiveness. Scientists are developing ways to increase laser strength and adjust for atmospheric interference, ensuring that these weapons work in all environments. Despite these challenges, progress is moving fast. The breakthroughs in power efficiency, targeting systems, and beam control are pushing laser weapons closer to becoming the primary form of naval defense. This shift to laser-based defense isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a game changer in military strategy. For years, adversaries believed hypersonic missiles were unstoppable. But now, with laser defenses that may no longer be the case, nations like China and Russia will have to rethink their offensive strategies. If the U.S. can successfully defend against hypersonic threats, the balance of power shifts dramatically. The military race may no longer be about who has the fastest missiles, but who has the most effective defense systems. If you enjoyed these insights and want to learn more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.